Hello humans! Trying something a bit different today. One of my favourite things on YouTube is watching people's tattoo videos. What they've got, what they mean, why they're where they are, all that sort of nonsense. And I have, depending on how you count them, 11 tattoos, I think. But I don't do editing. I'm reluctantly anywhere in the 21st century. I am not really very able to show you all my tattoos without going places none of us want to go. So I've got pictures of most of them on my computer and we'll see how this works. I got my first tattoo when I was 32, 33, something like that. Been thinking about it for years. I'd had my design all set out for a long time. I'm just going to put it up on a decent size so you can see it, because it's on the back of my shoulder, so it's like, yeah, that I'm not going to be able to show you that. And it's these two symbols, kind of designed to I'm saying kind of too much, aren't I? Designed to look a bit like Japanese or Chinese pictograms, that kind of idea. I'm going to overuse that word a lot, aren't I? So the top one is based off an idea my mum did that she built, or my dad built. She designed, he built it into the house. And you have an O for Owen, a J for Janet, and an H for, well, it was Heather at the time, but it's Heggy now, so it doesn't make much difference. There's also a bit of an arrowhead on the, this is not a very well done tattoo, and there's a reason I had it on the back in case it was awful and I couldn't live with it. So, and it's tiny as well, it's not very big. But the arrowhead is actually related to the family cat in a weird twisted logic. The bottom one is my kids, E for Erin, K for Kathleen, and the two dots are two pregnancies that didn't come to term. So that's what that means. That's my family. I'm not hugely family oriented, one or the other. But that's what those mean, and I will extend to grandchildren should I ever get any. The next thing took a couple of years. Went to the same place, which was an epic mistake, but we won't talk about, you know, the foolish decisions you make when you're 35. And these are the easiest for me to actually show you in real life, but kind of awkward. And this shows you how the two fit together. The one with the red is tattoo number 2, and the one with the green is tattoo number 3. I had them done 3 months apart, and getting the second one at the same angle as the first was not easy. They're both in Spanish. They're lyrics, well, I suppose one's lyrics, one's the name of the song. This is Espantapajeros, if I'm pronouncing that at all right, in Spanish, which is Scarecrow for the My Chemical Romance song. And I've got the Fearless Vampire Killer's fangs there, an unlocked padlock heart there, and as you'll notice I have all these little splodges and shit, and that is basically because it looks so messy. I was trying to blur the outlines with stick and poke tattoos, so that's my own crap, and I retouched the fangs because they were really blotchy. Yeah, it looked cool. It didn't look too bad when I got it done, but it's gone blurrier and yeah, it's not great. But it means overcoming fears. Scarecrow is a thing that's tied to one spot, can't move forward, watches the world pass them by, and that's how I relate to fear. That it stops you from doing things, it stops you from moving forward, it stops you from taking chances that may or may not work out, but you know, if you just stand in the same place, you're never going to achieve anything. So that's what that means to me, and this is Te mantendré a salvo esta noche. I'll Keep You Safe Tonight, which is lyrics from the same song, and eventually this is, I want to have sort of splodgy flowers and shit around it as well. We have a key, which is actually designed to fit the padlock on the other side. Can't really show you. A ribbon, because tied on being safe. I mean, the red is for danger, the fear, the uncertainties in life, and this side is green for safety and protection. And you know, we have a cross being the T in there, and it was supposed to be symbolic. I don't know as it worked, but you know, try anything. So that's 2 and 3. So I got those in 2013. And then it took me a long time to get to the next one because I wasn't terribly impressed with the place I went. I didn't feel comfortable there. And I had the idea, well, I wanted to work some imagery into it, but I couldn't settle on an idea at all. So it sat around for a long time. But what I had got was the writing for this one. Which, if you know your Latin at all, this should translate as, "You'll be there in the sun's first rays of the morning," which is from City Falls to Dust, Fearless Vampire Killer song, and it's in the handwriting of Lawrence Beveridge. And eventually I decided to get it tattooed, just as the words, no imagery, just there, so I could see it at all times. And I decided to get that done, finally booked it, probably June of last year, and then they announced they were splitting up, and I got the tattoo done 2 days after they split, I think, or was it 3, something like that. It was pretty close, but I'd already booked it. And as soon as that happened, the fandom kind of focused on another line from the same song. "You'll be here in my blood till the day I die." So I got him to write that out for me as well, and I have that on the other arm, and they don't match terribly well because the quote is just a different length. Tried to get them at the same angle, they're not at the same angle. Again, it's kind of parallels because I've got red down here, so I've got green up here, green down here, red up here. And I get to keep those in my arms and can see them at all times. And I like Latin. I can't speak Latin. I wanted to learn Latin, dropped out because I was scared I was going to blow my entire degree just because I wanted to do Latin, and it didn't seem worth it. I'd rather have a degree and take my chances. So, but it's nice. The thing is, I find myself trying to read other people's tattoos. If you're going to have words on you, people's instinct is to read you, which is fine. I mean, I've got my heart on my sleeve, literally, so it shouldn't matter. But at the same time, I feel rude reading other people. I don't necessarily want people reading me. I'd rather somebody had to ask and say, "What is that? What does that mean? Why have you got random scribbles all over you?" So that's what I did. I decided I wanted different languages, so I got 2 in Spanish, 2 in Latin, and the next one is Ancient Greek. Now, my classics tutor for Open University did the translation for me, so it should be right. There is literally no way for me to check. It was a bitch to get done, because he hand wrote it for me and I couldn't make it out, and I had somebody on Twitter helping me out with what the letters were supposed to be, and I sent it back to him all typed up, and he corrected things, and then we put in the accents, which are modern accents because computers just do not do the traditional. Yeah, so it is a bit of a pig's ear, and I have no idea if the genders are right in it. It kind of works either way. And this is, again, Fearless Vampire Killer's lyrics, Fetish for the Finite, line he sang to me the first show I went to: "I can't stand another night knowing you're not mine." And this I have in a light periwinkle blue, and it wraps all the way around my thigh like a garter. So this is tattoo number 5? Am I on 5? Where am I up to? No, 6. Get it right. Tattoo number 6. And I left a space on the outside of my thigh because it starts from the outside, works round. Oh my god, the back of your thigh. Oh, that hurts. That's uncomfortable. It was also the one that took the longest, so that was fun. Also trying to get that one level around the leg, not easy, but I enjoyed going to the Tatdoodleist and having him stroking my leg, doing all the prep work. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And yeah, so I've got that wrapped around, and there's a space on the outside where I had no idea. It was going to have something, thought maybe a bow, maybe a dream catcher. I didn't have a clue, but there was going to be something there so that at least I remembered where it began and ended, because not actually doing ancient Greek or modern Greek or any languages at all, it seemed like it would be a good idea if I knew where it actually started. That I couldn't forget too easily. So that's why this tattoo actually comes in 2 parts, because it wasn't until I had the space there and had it for a little while that I could think what was supposed to be in it. So actually the next one I got is something else, and again you can see this one in real life as well, because this one's yet another language. This is Amharic, which is a language of Ethiopia, I believe. And you have the Egyptian hieroglyph. Well, it's not actually a hieroglyph, really, is it? It's the symbol of the Aten, the god of the sun disk. And this is something that means a lot to me. I went to Egypt for my 30th birthday. My mum took me. She always wanted to do the Nile cruise, so we did a Nile cruise. And this was actually part of a mother-daughter thing with my eldest daughter. We'd seen this thing on Facebook where mothers and daughters designed tattoos for each other and got them done as a surprise, completely blind. But I'm a control freak, so that's not happening. And we discussed what we wanted to get each other, and we passed the ideas by each other. And so mine is up here, it's the top of my shoulder. It's not straight, but the idea is that the sun disk fits over the sort of knobbly bit of the bone. I do have a bone in there somewhere, honest. And it's also quite nice because it's slightly round the front of my shoulder. It means I can see it. It's quite frustrating when you get your first tattoo and you can never actually see it. Although it is crap, so whatever. But yeah, this is the Aten, and the Amharic says, "My only sunshine." My dad used to sing me "You Are My Sunshine" when I was a kid. My daughter wanted that represented in the tattoo. I tweaked it to have a different line because the idea of my only sunshine, the only god being the sun disk according to Akhenaten, seemed like it fitted better. So that's what we went with. And hers is an angel owl, based off her school plays when she was a kid. So yep, that's tattoo number 7. So we got that done the same time. She got her first tattoo the day I got my 7th. That was, most of my tattoos were from last year, so I was 38 getting the vast majority of these. And by the time I got that, I had decided what went in the outside of the garter, and that is, again, a fearless vampire killer's thing. Aren't I surprising? Aren't I predictable? And we have the Heliskull logo, except for the fact that it has fangs, and that kind of matches my hair. And that was a last minute thing. I had come over all nervous about using somebody else's art for it, and I tried to get Shane's permission to get this done, and he hadn't replied to my tweets, and I was feeling really iffy, and was it a good idea to change it without his permission? Was it better to change it so that it wasn't copying? I had no idea, but I decided I wanted fangs. And he got back to me after I got it done, and thankfully he was okay with it, so that's alright. So that's technically, to me, number 8, because whilst it's part of that garter, it was done at a different time, it was decided at a different time, it's not integrated in any way, you know, as you can just about see, I've put it back on the small ones, it's still got the spaces between the writing, it's It's in the same place, but it's a different thing. So that brings us up to number 9, and this is not a very good photo. This one again, I have to credit my daughter, Erin, for, because I had wanted the Deathly Hallows Always thing for a while, and Fearless Vampire Killers had a song that at this point I had never heard, called Always Forgive, and I thought adding in the forgive, God, you can barely see it, can you? As I say, it's a crap photo, and this is on my ankle. Let's see if I can show you. Ooh, so much jiggy camera work. I can't even get the angles right, can I? It's down there, just above the sock line, and it's in kind of purple. It's not a very good purple, but you know, it's not black, so it makes a change, although I have got quite a bit of colour on me. And I didn't know how to make it personal, because so many people love Harry Potter, have the Deathly Hallows Always thing going on, and I wanted something a bit different because I'm special. Yeah, but I mean, why have the same as everybody else? So I'd been umming and ahhing, and when we were getting our mother-daughter tattoos, she had the brainwave. And she didn't tell me anything. She waited until she got home and she could Google it and see if it was a possibility. And she found me this sample of Alan Rickman's handwriting that had all the letters I needed. And I'm talking literal cut and paste. Printed it out in a couple of different sizes so that the letters would be the same size. Sat there with a Pritt stick and memo card, and I just tweaked and tweaked and tweaked until I got basically Always Forgive in Alan Rickman's handwriting. You know, done after he died, so it's pretty weird. But nobody's going to have the same version, because not mine, because I made it with glue. And so those are my 9 official tattoos. And then I decided, because I wanted to do some blurry shit around here, I decided to get some needles and some inks and mess about. And I have a very dodgy looking ankh, again with the Egyptian thing, an ankh on my second toe right foot. So that's number 10, which I'm still working at trying to make look less crap. You know, keep putting a bit more on there, see if it works. It doesn't. And also a heart on my right knee, which I have also fucked up. So that's number 11. And where I sign my name, I do this sort of squiggly heart thing over the eye, and that is in the middle of the heart. So it's like a heart within a heart, a stylized heart within a normal one. And that's on my right knee. And that's the tattoos I have so far. I want a whole load more, but obviously time, money, shit like that. I want a parade of dinosaurs along my arm there. I want Pokemon Mimikyu there. I want my graduation tattoo, which is another Pokemon one, Shaman the Hedgehog, probably wearing a graduation cap, and possibly with a mug of coffee, because, you know, so much caffeine to get you through your university studies, possibly with a mug having the OU symbol, Open University symbol, on it, and that is supposed to go there. Obviously that's still a work in progress, and I have half a dozen other ideas. It's just a matter of time and money, so we'll see, and also finding somebody to do them, because my tattoo list ran away, never to be seen again, which is unfortunate, because I liked him. You know, he was a nice chap to work with, and he liked my weird as fuck little ideas, because, you know, some people come in and they want something out of the book, and that's fine, and other people want something that is just like, you what now? That's different. And I always knew exactly what size, I knew what colours, I knew where things were going. There was no umming and ahhing. You know, there's no point getting something done unless you're sure. And I know what I'm doing, kinda ish. It's all just making it up as you go along and sitting with an idea until it feels right for me. What anyone else wants to do, I mean, if you want to get an impromptu tattoo, that's fine. It marks a moment in your life. I may or may not get something that is purely spontaneous at some point. No reason why I shouldn't. But so far, I mean, the first one I sat with for 6 months. The Latin I had for nearly a year before I got it done. But that was really because I wanted to do something with it, but I couldn't decide what. So in the end, I just got the Latin and thought, well, if I ever have an idea to go with it, I'll just have to work around. And some of them have been far more spontaneous. The Helical, the Latin on this side, it's just like, get the handwriting, get the appointment, get it done. What's the point of waiting? But you know, obviously I've got quite a few tattoos now, so I figure I'm not going to regret them too much. I mean, the thing is, I've got lots of scars and stretch marks and shit that I haven't had any choice in. So the fact that I have chosen to mark my body makes it easier to live with than things that I didn't have a say in. You know, surgical scars, you don't, I mean, you sign the consent form, but you don't have a choice as such. It's got to be done, so you just got to live with the consequences. Whereas these are something I chose for me, and everything has a meaning. Some of it's not hugely deep and meaningful and special in that sense, but it's all important to me. I have no idea how many tattoos I'll end up with. I don't have intentions of getting a sleeve or anything like that. It's more of an organic process for me, that when I want a tattoo and when I can afford a tattoo, I get a tattoo. And should I decide to get a sleeve or whatever in due course, somebody's going to have to do some serious thinking about how we're going to kind of tie everything together, because it's just random shit. But, you know, that sums up my life anyway, so. Random ideas. Different languages. Different colours. Chuck it all together, see what happens. Why not? You only live once. Can't take it with you. So yeah. That's my ink. Feel free to comment below what you think I should get. Anything like that. Always open to ideas. Why not? See you next time.